What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be working on a trailer for a jet ski. So a customer bought a cheap little trailer, so I never realized how expensive these things are for the jet ski world. So I know it's very popular, so I decided to make a video on this for you guys in case you guys want to do the same thing. But those jet ski trailers, bro, they're not cheap. So for a good one, nice lowered one that looks pretty decent and everything, is around like 4 or 5 grand. So this customer opted out for the cheapest trailer he could find. Was roughly around $1,000. So now the only thing that he doesn't like about it is that the jet ski sits so high, basically like a monster truck. So he brought it in the Frenchy fab so we can actually lower it. So instead of lowering the whole frame, which will basically, you know, sit lower, and then his tow hitch and everything will have to sit lower on his truck as well in order for it to actually hook, without putting the jet ski at a major angle where it can slide off. What we're actually going to be doing is just lowering where the jet ski sits. So the spindles and everything for the wheels are still going to stay the same height. The side frame and everything that hooks up to the tow hitch is going to still stay the same height. The only thing that's changing is where the jet ski sits. So if you guys see the center cross brace over here, this we're actually going to be remodeling it, and we'll redesigning it and sitting that lower. That way the wheels and the frame and everything can still sit at the same height. So that would allow the customer to stand on it, work on his jet ski or whatever. I don't have a stop on there. He'll be able to get on, turn the jet ski on or whatever without the jet ski sitting up here. So it actually sit lower. This customer specifically, he's gonna be running a Sea-Doo. Not a big jet ski guy, that's all I know. He's gonna have a Sea-Doo on here. We do have another guy, shout out to G Performance, my boy, Woody. He builds racing jet skis and everything. So if you guys need any jet ski work or whatever, get in contact with him, and then he'll hook you up on whatever you guys need, modifications, installs, building the engine, stuff like that. But super cool dude. Definitely recommend following him on Instagram. It's called G Performance. I'll put a link to his Instagram in my description. But yes, we are going to be lowering this frame. So this stuff is made out of 2.5-inch aluminum. So it is an aluminum frame trailer. So it's actually pretty light. You can pick it up. I'm not going to pick it up because I have material on there. But anyways, it's 2.5-inch by 2.5-inch square in the center. Now this looks like it's just like unistrut. So we're going to be getting rid of this, and we're going to make it a little bit beefier. What we actually ended up getting over here is special order, but it's 2.5 by 2.5 1/4-inch wall square tubing. So it'll be a lot stronger, a lot more rigid than the unistrut that they have on here. U-beam, whatever you guys want to call it. It's technically unistrut. But so yeah, we're going to be taking this bad boy out. We're going to be going upstairs on the computer. I'm going to have my little brother Kevin, shout out to my little brother. He's going to be doing a CAD design on there so we don't waste material, because if you guys know about aluminum, this stuff is not cheap. And we're trying to save the customer some money. So the goal is lower the frame, the inside frame where the jet ski sits, save money, save material, waste as little as possible, and get this thing looking good, man. So other than that, let's go upstairs. Let's see what Kevin's working on the CAD. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so we're back from the CAD designing. Turned out dope. If you guys seen this PC setup, that thing is amazing. But anyways, so we got the measurements and everything we need in order to bring this. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually be lowering this 9 inches. So that's how much room we have to work with, which should be plenty. That jet ski is going to look so good, nice and lowered in here to match the customer's truck. Customer's truck is badass. He's getting the jet ski to match it. Hopefully in the future, maybe he'll wrap this or something to match the jet ski and the truck, you know, just to make it look cool instead of just raw aluminum. But anyways, the reason we went with 9 inches is, toss me your tape measure, please. I'm on my knees and shorts, bro. That shit hurts. Anyways, the reason we went with 9 inches is because here we have the center spindle for the wheels. And I don't want to go any lower than that and risk the bottom of the jet ski rubbing on this. The reason we went 9 inches is because the wood where the jet ski sits actually is adjustable, so you can loosen up the U-bolts on there. You can slide this up and down, in and out to match your jet ski width and height. So we went with 9 inches because the bottom of the spindle, or the top of the spindle to the top of the chassis is exactly 9 inches. So if we lower this frame to match that height, perfect. Now that's the lowest I want to go. We can go lower. I don't want to risk it. You gotta remember that this stuff, this is on a spring leaf, and it can, you know, adjust with the height of the jet ski or the weight of the jet ski. It is gonna sit a little bit lower. With the 9 inches, it should basically sit flush with the bottom of the pipe when the weight is on it. So we should be good on that. And then instead of just doing a straight piece and a straight piece down, we're actually gonna do some 45s and some bends and everything, make it look good, not just, you know, something plain and cheap, and make it look like a cheap jet ski. We're gonna do a nice design on there. Everything's gonna be welded. So since this is a cheap jet ski, there's no welding done on this. Everything's just bolts, and there's no nylon or lock washers or anything on it. So to me, it's a little sketchy, you know, with the vibration of the jet ski jumping around on the road, things can come loose. So no further than less, let's get all this stuff taken apart and get some measuring and cutting. Alright guys, so we got the jet ski supports taken out. So now next step is going to be taking these bad boys out. So they're held on by 2 bolts on each side, and they also have the brackets for the lights, so we have to keep those in mind that the wiring does go through there when we're going to put our new tube. So let's go ahead and take these bolts out, get this frame taken out, let's get the new one made.
Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? It's undefined, want to know where you are. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? The sun is dark. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? It's undefined, want to know where you are. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? The sun is dark.
Alright you guys, so we have that rear cross brace removed. Jet ski supports are removed as well. So now these are offset I-beams. So what I mean by offset is they are an I-beam, but one side's 1.5 inch, one side's 1 inch. So it is offset. But so now what we're gonna do is, according to our CAD design, we're gonna get our measurements. We're gonna put our new material up in the bandsaw, get it cut to length, and start fitting it up. So we will end up flipping this around. So we are gonna remove the wheel guards, and now we can get to the bottom and weld it and everything real nicely. Prep the material, clean it up, But other than that, let's put it on the bandsaw and get them cut.
Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? The sun is dark. The sun is dark. Keep hiding, keep hiding. The sun is dark. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? It's undefined, want to know where you are. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? The sun is dark. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? It's undefined, want to know where you are. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? The sun is dark. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? It's undefined, want to know where you are. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? The sun is dark. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? It's undefined, want to know where you are. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? The sun is dark. The sun is dark. Keep hiding, keep hiding. The sun is dark.
Alright, you guys, so now we have our straight sections cut. We have everything pre-made. So now we gotta cut angles into it. So now we're gonna move on to our next step. So we're gonna be cutting 65.5 degrees. So we're gonna have it open up the bandsaw, which we have it opened up, clean it up a little bit, get all the aluminum shavings and everything out the way. Now we have a nice clean base to work on. A lot of shavings. So now we're gonna loosen up our rear clamp. Right now it's set at dead zero. So we're gonna go ahead and change that. Now my bandsaw doesn't have the actual degrees on it anymore. The bandsaw is so old, it was probably broken off or something. So we're gonna go old school. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get yourself a little speed square. You're gonna get yourself a speed square, my bad. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna set it up. It's gonna take me, I forgot how to do this shit. There we go. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna lower your blade, and then you're gonna match it up to whatever degree you're looking for. So what we're looking for is 65.5. So that should be close enough. Now you guys see our 65 degree mark there. So we have to match up our bandsaw to that 65.5. A little too much. That's what we're looking for right there. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten that down. And then hopefully you guys can see that, but we are dead on to 65.5. Let me lower it a little bit more so the camera can pick it up. So on a speed square, you have where your pivot point's gonna be. So that's where you're gonna know where your blade is straight or not. So you're gonna rest your blade on your flat spot and you're gonna pivot until you match up the degree that you're looking for. So now that we're set up, we're gonna finish tightening up the screws, put our material in, let's get the next cut. All right, guys, so we have our vise and everything set up, 65.5 degrees. And our bandsaw has the rear adjustable. So if you're ever angled too far and your material is gonna hit yours, ours actually can extend back. Some don't, but also some don't come as close. The reason it comes closer, so my blade has a lot more support on it, so I don't get any warp. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my blade down as far as possible, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line it up to my rear corner of my material. So the reason is, when you go on your rear corners, you don't lose the certain measurement that you measured from the beginning. If you were to cut any more off of there, let's say you cut a 30-inch piece, if you cut, let's say, 1/8 of it off, now you're gonna be 1/8 on one side and 1/8 on the other side off. So you have to cut exactly at the corner. So we're gonna line that up, and it doesn't have to be perfect because since it's a 1/4-inch wall, we are gonna be beveling it. So as you guys can see, I'm not exactly on the corner. I'm a little bit offset that way, just so I make sure I don't lose my distance. So now it's set up, it's clamped up. You can see the vise, the angle. Now let's get all these pieces cut. So we have material cut, we have our angles, so now I just have it on a flat piece of steel, clamped down. All I'm gonna do is tack it so we can put it back on the trailer and figure out what our bottom angle is gonna be. So I can mark it with a Sharpie and then get that cut. So it's clamped up right now. Let's go ahead and tack it. All right, you guys, so we got both pieces tacked up. We got this one locked over here with some zip ties held onto the jack stand. So that's how she's looking. You can see how much lower she's looking already compared to that straight piece that's over there. So now what we're gonna do is come over on this side. We're gonna mark the insides with a Sharpie to see where we're gonna make our cuts. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut that out, and we'll be able to get in there and weld it up real nicely. All right, guys, so I got the customer here. He's out here checking his jet ski and make sure that's low enough. Sammy, you like it?
Bro, so far it's awesome.
Hell yeah.
You got the vision, you can tell me that.
Yes, sir. All right, so he likes it, so we're gonna go ahead and start cutting, start welding up. Let's get this baby set. notched out, ready for welding. So it's tacked in place right now. We did the good old stand test on it. There's my son, covered in ice cream. Hey puppy. Hi. So yeah, she's all tacked in. So we did the stand test, she held. So now we're gonna weld her in place. High amperage, so we got the good old Everlast Power Tick 325 EXT. And if it wasn't for that water cooler, man, this thing would have took forever to weld, because when I was welding these pieces up, I didn't get too many clips on there because I'm trying to keep the video nice and short for you guys. But as you can see, the welds are gorgeous, as always. Let's go, wait. Welds are gorgeous. Since it's 1/4 inch, we had to, create a nice little bevel inside, so we had to gouge it out really good. But yeah, so she's tacked in, she's level, she looks good. So now it's time to weld her in place. So if you guys remember what it used to look like, that ugly straight section, now we got this bad boy. So she's coming out really good. Hopefully you guys can hear me with the AC going on. Yep, she's hot. Yeah, let's get her welded. What? He gets it tomorrow, puppy.
Why?
Because Daddy needs to finish.
Why?
Say hi. Hot? Hot? Double gloves going on. $195 amps on the welder. It's pretty hot. guys, so back piece is fully welded in. I just gotta clean up the welds, you know, from the soot and everything. Let's weld it across, underneath. So now that this piece is good to go, now we can finally remove that one. So we didn't remove both of them at the same time because I didn't want the frame to tweak or anything. So now that this one's complete and she's solid, we did the good old stand test. She ain't going nowhere. So now we can officially remove that one and then get started on that piece. So we got that second brace in. You guys can see it over there. And how low she's looking already. She's looking pretty good. Now we just gotta weld this bad boy up. Hell yeah. Alright guys, so I just rested the jet ski supports in there for now. There's no U-bolts or anything on it, it's just literally just resting on there, but that's how she looks. Now that's not exactly how they're gonna sit, because they have to be angled and everything to match the jet ski. So it is gonna be raised up a little bit once the U-bolts are in. But she sits so much lower in there. Like the jet ski's nice and tucked now. I can't wait to see what this thing actually looks like with the jet ski on it, guys. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get a video of, you know, before and after with a jet ski on it because the customer doesn't even have his jet ski yet. It's still on order. But there's gonna be a massive difference of what it would have been. Because if you guys remember, it was just a straight section on top, monster truck. But yeah, let's get her welded and let's get this customer picked up. Alright you guys, so we're finally done. So both pieces are in. She's nice and lowered. Oh shit, let me put these bad boys back in for you guys. Here, we'll do it together. Put this wide angle. I don't have my camera guy today, so I gotta do everything by hand. Bear with me. So it should be sitting something like this. And then obviously, you know, you gotta raise it up for the jet ski. But, bro, she came out super nice. What do you guys think? $1,000 jet ski trailer. Nice and lowered now. Like the more expensive trailers. 2.5 inch, 1/4 inch wall. Square tubing. And it's welded, not bolted in. So it is making the frame a lot stronger. A lot more rigid. But that's gonna be the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, you know, something different. I have a lot more things that I want to work on, so I'll be making a lot more videos on different kinds of things. So I do want to work on my carbon fiber stuff and everything again. But if you guys like stuff like this, you know, different kinds of fabrication, other types of jobs and stuff like that, I don't know. Comment down below and let me know if you guys would like to see some more stuff like this. But other than that, I appreciate you guys for checking this out. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it, but we'll see you guys on the next one. I appreciate you guys.